Supreme Court's already heard arguments from Colorado about a similar claim. The controversy centers on the 14th Amendment, which bars anyone from serving as an officer of the U.S. if they engaged in insurrection or rebellion. Lawyers for the former president have argued the amendment doesn't apply in this case.
Fox's Jill Nato. The Supreme Court will hear another Trump appeal April 22nd, considering his claim that he should be immune from prosecution for actions he took while in office. This is an attempt to get the federal 2020 election-related criminal case against him dismissed. With the border a big election issue, there will be dueling Trump-Biden border visits going today, both of them. The president will be in Brownsville, where Fox's Lawrence Jones is.
You know, the big question for the president of the United States, why this location? I mean, I was here a year ago when there was an actual surge going on. Now we're down to about 15 to 17 migrants crossing illegally a day.
That's in that area. The Trump trip is to Eagle Pass, where there are more illegal crossings, but the White House calls his visit a political stunt. Fox's Sean Hannity will interview the former president in Texas at 9 p.m. Eastern on Fox News Channel. Chaos and more death in Gaza. Israel saying a crowd of Palestinians waiting for food and other humanitarian aid turned into a stampede and attempted looting, and their soldiers opened fire. Palestinian officials say more than 100 people were killed, bringing the number of Palestinian deaths in the war in Gaza to over 30,000.
The developments inside Gaza come as talks for a possible ceasefire continue. And U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said in a statement, quote, "The most important thing when this conflict in Gaza comes to an end is to end this cycle of violence once and for all."
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv. A police officer in Washington, D.C. was shot. People in the area of the Naval Yard urged to shelter in place as the search continues for the shooter. America's listening to Fox News.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare information guide absolutely free. Call 800-919-3200. That's 800-919-3200. 800-919-3200. Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos. Fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Well, as former President Trump tries to get a criminal case dropped and deals with another state removing him from a ballot, he's also dealing with a very expensive appeal in a New York civil case.
Former President Trump offered to put up $100 million toward the $454 million judgment against him, saying on appeal he couldn't raise all the funds needed, in part because of a block on allowing him to obtain loans. An appellate judge, though, sided with the New York Attorney General, finding he has to post the full amount, but is allowing him to seek loans in order to do so. A lower court judge found the former president and his company lied about the amount his real estate is worth in order to obtain better loans and insurance policies. The former president said the case against him amounts to election interference. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
Parts of the Texas Panhandle are in smoldering ruins. In a wildfire disaster, one woman's been killed.
Well, our house is still standing.
But that man's neighbors were not so lucky. The pictures are heartbreaking. Small communities with only a few thousand people are bearing the brunt of massive wildfires that have spread over several counties and 500 miles.
Fox's Casey Stiegel in Dallas. The government may not partially shut down as feared this weekend.
Congressional leaders have come to an agreement on 6 appropriation spending bills to fund a group of government agencies. According to a joint statement, the plan is to vote on the bills by March 8th. With a partial government shutdown deadline Friday, a GOP source tells Fox News the House plans to vote Thursday on a short-term spending bill to fund the government for another week. Leaders say Congress will work on finishing and passing the final 6 spending bills before March 22nd, saying, quote, "We are in agreement that Congress must work in a bipartisan manner to fund our government." On Capitol Hill, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stocks could fall again like yesterday. Dow futures down about 100 points ahead of another report this morning on inflation. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. An investigation's underway into a residential fire in Champaign. Firefighters called to a home on West Tremont Street Tuesday. They were able to get the homeowner out without any injuries. The cause of the fire yet to be determined. The homeowner going to have to find somewhere else to live for the time being. University of Illinois College of Veterinary Medicine had an email error Monday night. They sent out acceptance letters to 44 applicants who were actually waitlisted. The college said they recognized the error almost instantly and sent a correction minutes later. They said admissions decisions being sent to hundreds of applicants and an administrative error led to the unfortunate mistake. A doctor with Carle Health wants the community to know about recent rise in measles, saying there aren't any cases in central Illinois right now, but feels it's important to open the conversation to prevent the disease. Indiana Department of Public Health confirming from Northwest Indiana has it, and that a person went to 3 different Chicago hospitals while contagious. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, thank you, Jim. Good morning. It is Thursday morning. This is the last day. If you have a leap year birthday, happy birthday.
Exactly.
Leap year. Soya, you weren't born on a leap year day, 29 February, were you?
No. I actually March 10, a week from Sunday.
Okay.
Is the birthday. So but you know what? Those folks with leap year birthdays, I mean, they could technically be, a lot younger.
Right.
Right? If you wanted to celebrate every 4 years.
40, you're 10.
Right.
So, I mean.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, happy.
Good math. That's the right kind of math.
Happy. I think it's your 40th coming up, isn't it? That's happy.
Who, mine? Maybe for 41st, maybe.
It's our meteorologist.
But we're all not quite as young as Diane, are we?
That's exactly
Whatever.
right. Weather brought to you by the Urbana Park District.
They remind you, Read Across America is coming your way on Saturday at Lincoln Square between 10 and 1. The first 1,000 people through the doors will get a free book and bag. Urbana Park District is the sponsor for Read Across America Saturday starting at 10.
2 days ago, we set an all-time record at 74 degrees. This morning, my car thermometer said 17, Mr. Greg.
That is certainly swing of temperatures, enough to drive folks who are in the bin and barn management of grain and silos kind of to the old apothecary, trying to keep up with the swings of temperature and humidity levels. Yeah, it's a cold one, but, we're not really far off from what we'd expect for a late winter or late last day of February temperature this morning across the area. And the fact that we'll pop into the 40s once again, warm grounds, lack of snow cover in Pacific air, and the El Nino weather pattern all in our favor. 19 now at Willard and Savoy and Rantoul, 20 over at Danville, colder spots, about 13 up at Milford in Iroquois County currently, 19 over at Bloomington Normal, to a reading of, 30 in downtown St. Louis, teens in their suburban areas. Chicago checks in at 20 degrees. Some lake snows into parts of Ohio, Pennsylvania, and New York State, and 11 tornadoes were popped in. Some of that stuff that came through at least northern Illinois from the folks at the National Weather Service. Quite unusual tornado watches and actual tornado activity in late February. In any event, it's been one of those years, winter seasons at least. Sunny skies, 45 today. Normal high this time of the year at 42. Southwest to south breeze, increasing clouds tonight, down near 30. Tomorrow, system passing well to the south, may bring about maybe a sprinkle and a snowflake into the south end of the county and southward from there tomorrow morning and again in the afternoon. Partly sunny otherwise, and 46 up near 60 on Saturday, near 70 on Sunday. Some shower activity Monday, a little rain Tuesday and Wednesday. We go from the 60s on Monday, still well into the 50s for highs above average for Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, meteorologist Greg Soldier.
It is always a pleasure to welcome John Pudner. He was a man that worked at I guess you were pretty much in the swamp for a while, weren't you, John?
Tried to not actually go to D.C., but I sent people there.
Well, that's how you do it. John Pudner could be president if he can live in Milwaukee. That'd be all right. President of Take Back Action Fund. He was a Bush 2000 aide. Only person in United States history to run a campaign defeating a majority leader in a primary. He's John Pudner. All right, so both Biden and Trump are going to have dueling visits to the border. I guess this is what is just, how do I explain it in words? They had like 17 people coming to, they clean up the shop when the president comes, right? I mean, it's, so what's going on? Why? What does it matter at this point? He hasn't gone yet. So he's seeing the polls. Is that what's happening?
Any of us who crunch numbers know that's what's happening. And it's funny. I've had a couple of Texas interviews today, and they obviously know the geography better than I do. Yeah, nothing happens. Nothing happens where Biden's going. I mean, he's going to a spot where there's no risk of visuals of immigrants crossing the border or anything else. So he's picked a safe spot, but he's in damage control at this point. 20-some% think he's handling the border well, and I don't know what that 20%.
Well, I was going to say, where can we find one of those people? I would really like to talk to him.
The mall.
So you think
they just got a coffee drink?
I'm not aware of anything.
Idea.
Have never seen a video clip. So he's going to a spot that's going to look good visually, and then he's going to be on the ground for an hour, and then back in the plane.
Yeah, I think that's about it. And he's got to make the visit. And here's what's hitting him in the polls. It's not just that only 20% agree with how he's handling it. It's that this has become the number one issue, along with inflation, depending on how you ask the question. But that's no better for him. So, you've got close to 30% on each of those issues saying the most important issue. And I tell you, we've been out with teams of door knockers, and not in the border area. It's by far the biggest issue. You just knock on a door and ask, top issue. I mean, they're more, say, immigration than anyone else, any other issue, all other issues combined. It's because they connect it to something. They either know of a fentanyl death, or a crime, or, my gosh, this Georgia student that was killed by an illegal immigrant in what's basically a sanctuary city, Athens. So it just hits home. People are thinking, like, well, gosh, I go out jogging, I could get killed. There has to be a real, non-theoretical, this is a huge problem.
Well, we've added people, and of course we've all been railing about this, or I have anyway, not put words in John Pudner's mouth on the Tapman Stein phone line, but I certainly would say, listen, it's tantamount to taking the front door off your home. Well, you wouldn't do that. Well, why not? Well, because somebody might come in that might hurt you. It might be 1 out of 100, but whatever. There are people now, elements that, Venezuela's emptying their prisons, we're allowing people in. But for Joe Biden politically, every crime, and there's a list of people that have harmed and murdered and sexually assaulted and all these other things that are illegal immigrants. And so this is his issue, isn't it, John? I mean, you're not going to get away from the fact that Trump is way ahead on this issue with Joe Biden.
Your analogy is great on the front door. And to go even further, show how Trump was ahead of the game. A lot of conservatives don't realize when he proposed the wall, that's never been a 50% issue until the last year. The Bill Wall's kind of made fun of everything else. And for the first time now, over 50% are saying they want the wall built. And it's like 53%, but it's only 31% saying no. So even that next step of people are thinking, well, maybe we do need a wall. Maybe I am being mugged by reality here. So he was that far ahead of the game. I mean, it took the majority of Americans, 8 years to catch up and say, my gosh, we do have to have a wall. And your front door analogy is perfect.
Well, and again, no matter what, anything comes out, no matter what, Republicans are colluding with Russia. I heard that yesterday. Well, John, is that still playing? And I mean, is that playing Peoria? Well, come on. What are we doing?
Yeah, well, you're a little closer to Peoria than I am. Not too much, but yeah, I don't think so, though. That's my read on it. No, I don't think they can get away from it. He's his best case, Biden, is just to say, well, it's Congress. They did agree to this agreement. Yeah, you can always blame Congress, but he's got the history now. I mean, Nate Silver was out there a year ago saying, look, if he rescinds Title 42, which he plans to do, that's pretty devastating for him. So that was Nate Silver just crunching numbers. That's an executive order. That's on him. He can't talk about that being something that Congress bungled. I mean, he said you can no longer deport these people when you catch them, and that's just going to be on Joe Biden in this election.
Do you really believe he's going to make it? I'm standing by my guns. It's too late. It's Biden, Trump. I do not think Joe Biden will be their nominee.
I'm leaning that way. The thing I always remind people is if this were, a risk game or something, of course he wouldn't be your nominee. You take him out. You just always have to convince the one person. It's him. And these candidates, sometimes with their egos. I mean, I'm sure his ego can't take it.
You do the Richard Nixon. You say, sir, we're going to impeach you tomorrow, and the Democrats are all in. What do you want to do? I mean, the Democrats need to understand that Donald Trump can beat Joe Biden.
Right. Yes, I think so. They've got to be there. You certainly see everyone from the New York Times, laying out scenarios and how the convention should do this. They're definitely trying to lay the groundwork, and at some point, Biden's going to curse someone out who tells him he's got to step aside and say, there's no way Trump can beat me. The egos are there, and that's the moment none of us will be there for to see if it happens.
I could write a novel and talk about the first family, and I'm starting to think it's Jill Biden who's calling the shots. Pretty wild, huh?
Yeah, it could be. That's we've had forceful first ladies who are good too.
I take it back. Dr. Jill Biden is calling. Hey, listen,
thank you.
Always a pleasure, John. How can people reach you?
TakeBackAction.org is the best place to start. I'd love to do events around the country, so certainly shooting down the road from Milwaukee's easy.
Thank you, John Putner. We appreciate it very much. Tapman's Towing phone line. Illinois in a shootout wins the game.
Yes. The final was 105-97. Thank goodness we pulled away. Boy, it was back and forth. Number 13, Illini. Yeah, got some audio.
I'm gonna wait till the break because I've got a little Coleman Hawkins, Brad Underwood. I'll play right after the Fox Business Minute here coming up. But essentially, 203 points. Is that the total? 105, 202 points. Man. Most combo in the Big Ten in 15 years.
Okay.
It was absolutely, Illinois shot it well. Minnesota shot it crazy. When Minnesota comes in and shoots 15 out of 21 from the three-point line, that's 70%, and they lost by 8. If they'd have made 11 out of 21, which would have been phenomenal, we win by 19. They were remarkable, and we played great offensively. I don't know if it's bad defense or just great offense.
Right. 61% from the field is what we shot, and Terrence Shannon Jr. led the team with 29. Coleman Hawkins, sunk the first 8, I think. It was great to see a couple of threes on his and smiles on his face right from the beginning. Marcus Domask was 18 to 22, I believe. Go Illini.
Go Illini.
And next up will be Saturday at noon in Wisconsin at the Kohl Center. And our Illinois women will be facing Michigan State. I believe that game is at 7 o'clock. So go Illini there. Speaking of women's basketball, we had number 6 Iowa taking down Minnesota 108-60 yesterday. The 17th triple-double this season for Caitlin Clark, who had 33 points, and beat Lynette Woodard's 77-81 run with 3,649 points with 3,650 points. They had the game and the salute to Lynette and all of that. So Caitlin Clark continues to awe these huge audiences when they come see the game at Minnesota yesterday. So way to go for women's sports. Northwestern over Maryland 68-61. Nebraska will be at Ohio State at 5:30 tonight, and Michigan State is at Rutgers for the 7:30 game. NBA had Chicago Bulls over Cleveland in overtime, 2 overtimes. Wow. That final was 132-123. Io had 21 points in that game.
And Iowa's coming of age. Oof. He's really playing well. Our weather brought to you by the Urbana Park District.
And they remind you, Read Across America is coming up at Lincoln Square on Saturday from 10 to 1. Make sure you come on out and learn more at urbanaparks.org.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign, Event Ave. Saturday. Nice one ahead here on this leap year day. Sunshine, afternoon temperatures for this last day in February at about 45 degrees with a south wind at about 8 to 15 miles per. Increasing clouds tonight, lows near 30. There'll be weather system passing well to the south of us for the day tomorrow, but still into the south end of the county and south from there. Maybe a couple sprinkles and snowflakes into the early to mid-morning and a sprinkle in the afternoon. Otherwise, we'll turn it partly sunny up to 46 and a light south wind. Clouds breaking in the 30s tomorrow night. We'll flirt with 60 and a mostly sunny, breezy Mallard Saturday. Tickling 70 in a couple of spots on Sunday. Partly sunny, windy and seasonably mild. Be some shower activity here for the day. Monday at 67. Little rain in spots as well Tuesday to early Wednesday. High temperatures at about 54 next Tuesday. Middle 50s Wednesday and heading towards 55 to 60 for the end portion of next week. That mild weather pattern will continue on. Another storm system due in for late next week as well. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Peter Rochus, Greg Soldier.
Tapman's Towing, team of experienced tow professionals, is seeking others with CDLs, previous tow experience, and or strong interest in serving others. Please visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
A tradition of excellence over 150 years in the making. At Busey Bank, we're committed to building relationships that span generations. Wherever your journey in life leads you, we are with you along the way, creating a legacy for you and your family. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth, since 1868, proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
Liz Clayman, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Best Buy's earnings and revenue were both better than expected in the recent quarter, and its forecast is at the high end of Wall Street expectations for the year. The stock is up more than 2%. Best Buy Chief Executive Corey Barry says the company was able to navigate a pressured consumer electronics sales environment. She sees this year as one of increasing industry sales stabilization, a sign things will be calming down. Bath & Body Works shares are losing ground. The soap and perfume retailer reported better than expected earnings, but the company sees a decline in its business this year. Shares of Hormel and Dole, two major food companies, are rallying. Both were helped by very strong profits. Wall Street will be reacting today to the PCE inflation reading for January. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Poselda. Invested in you.
Interesting people are talking to Will Kane.
I said, what do I call you? I call you Dwayne. I call you The Rock. He said, now that I own it, I can call you The Rock.
Yes, I own it now. You can call me The Rock.
Our next guest needs no introduction. It is Dr. Jordan Peters, my old friend and frenemy, Stephen A. Smith.
What is going on here? I see the Will Kane Show in the background. I see the microphone.
Watch it live at noon Eastern, Monday through Thursday on FoxNews.com. And get the podcast 5 days a week at FoxNewsPodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Well, Ben and Sarah had bought land to build their dream home on. They also owned a stunning country home in St. Joe. Well, they really felt they'd have no problem selling their home themselves, but hit some snags and things weren't really going well. They found Nate Evans and the Nate Evans Group. They got with his team. They put together the correct marketing strategies, resulting in the home getting several showings, 2 high-quality offers within 2 weeks.
Nice. You can get that immediate cash offer on your home. There's flexible fees. Sell your home for the most money possible as you search online for Nate Evans Group and eXp Realty. And I tell you what, the team around Nate and Nate himself are so good and have so much experience. You won't get bad advice. And if you're curious, you can go to Nate Evans Group and go to that middle of the title page, get home value, enter your address, and see what happens. Get the process started. Call the only agent I would call if I needed to sell my home. It's Nate Evans at 217-239-7113 or an online search to Nate Evans Group to start packing.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to the NateEvansGroup.com.
Get ready to hit the road with confidence wherever your journey takes you. Clay Dooley Tire and Auto is here for all of your tire needs. Whether you're navigating the city streets or setting off on your next road trip, Clay Dooley has the perfect tires to keep your vehicle rolling smoothly. Find a great set of tires that fits your budget, plus take advantage of flexible financing options. Get the tires you need now and pay over time. Visit the Champaign location or call 352-4286 to talk to a tire expert today.
Hi, this is Amanda Jean, the founder and planner of Inspire Your Wedding and Events. After the big yes, are you daydreaming about the big I do? Join us for premier, interactive, immersive, inspirational wedding showcase to bring together vendors and couples from all over Central Illinois for your big day. Come away with ideas and vendors that will make your wedding one of the most inspiring days of your life.
Save the date on Saturday, March 23rd at the historical and unforgettable Orpheum in downtown Champaign.
For complete details, visit inspireyour.com. That's inspireyour.com.
Well, doctor has examined Joe Biden, said, quote, continues to be fit for duty. Okay, thank you. You're going to get your doctor to say, I can't remember a thing. Don't get it. That was kind of set up. It's okay. No cognitive test.
Okay.
Okay, so it's 7:24. Illinois beats Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
These games they're hard because you can't lose them. It's like you lost to Minnesota. Whoa! It's just, and again, remember what matters. March.
Yes.
That's it. And you're
Starts
going,
tomorrow, though.
I've been practicing since October, and you're telling me the only thing that matters are 2 days in March? Actually, 1 day. And then if you are good in the 1 day, you get 2.
Yeah.
But Illinois, the pressure's on, really, to try and win 2. I think there'll be a tremendous amount of satisfaction just getting out of the first weekend. Because our program has been strong. Certainly Brad Underwood Only Lou Henson and Brad Underwood have 5 20-win seasons in a row. And really, it's Kansas and Creighton and Illinois. It's winning 5-20 seasons. It's just hard to win, as he says all the time. So anyway, after the game, Coleman Hawkins, what about that second half when we kind of got a lead?
We came down the court, got some good looks, and capitalized off of it. They were trying to double team in that pistol action, and we kind of took advantage of that. So it was good to see. Good to see the momentum shift like that.
Not many college games you see with 200 points. Ben's done a great job. I knew they were very good. They're playing like a top 25 team, and they caused you a lot of problems. Thought Elijah Hawkins was absolutely special today. 12 assists, no turnovers. He didn't have to score. I thought Terrence did a pretty good job on him in the first half. We kind of flipped Terrence over to Cam, and Cam's, my opinion, it's what a pro looks like. I think there's very few guys in college basketball who can shoot off the bounce. I think they told me they had 9 of their threes were off the bounce. That's very hard for college players to do. It's very rare, very unique. Cam was terrific. He was terrific. Dawson's obviously McDonald's All-American, a veteran. I thought we strung together enough stops late. We found something. We literally ran one play the last 12 minutes. We didn't have to be overly creative. It's nice to have guys make shots. It's nice to have layup and fouls. And that's what Booty Ball does. Felt like they had matchup issues with us. We were just able to kind of exploit that. Marcus was terrific. Be very remiss if I didn't talk about Dane and his performance. We were starting to get a little more comfortable with Dane in our Booty Ball action, where there's space and him creating opportunities to move around where he doesn't get in the way. He was terrific tonight and gave us a real physical presence against Payne, who's obviously a very good player.
Yep, Minnesota's so much better than they used to be. They've got some real players. Anyway, we win. Good news. So listen, we go to Wisconsin day after tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
At Wisconsin, we know how hard that is up there. I believe we're better.
And it's a noon game.
Yeah, I'm glad it's earlier. Less potential crowd crazy because you haven't been drinking as much. And then you've got Purdue.
Yes.
This is going to be goodbye to the seniors.
Yes.
There's going to be like 9 people or whatever.
So many. And it's a 6 o'clock start, so they want people to be there at 5:30.
Yeah.
Be there for the senior ceremony.
You want to say thank you to Marcus Damask and Justin Harmon and Quincy Guerrier. I mean, these guys, these transfers, those 3 specifically have been absolutely huge for our success. So you want to say goodbye. Then it's going to be absolutely, if you don't have curly hair, you'd have an afro, because the electricity in that building is going to be special, because we can beat Purdue here. They beat us there. It was like less than 10 points. It was a pretty good game. We didn't have Terrence Shannon for that, I don't think. I don't think Terrence played in that game because like January 5th or something.
Right.
So we've got full complement of our team. Obviously, it'd be a statement, big time, to beat the number 2 team, number 3 team. Certainly one of the top teams. So that would be pretty cool. Then we go to Iowa, and I'm just telling you, I don't have to tell you, at Iowa, Saturday night, yeah. And
that's a 6 o'clock start, too.
6 o'clock Saturday night. So that's at Iowa. It's going to be hard, real hard. And these last 3 are very hard. So anyway, get ready for the Big Ten tournament. We just got to probably win 1 of the 3 to make sure we're in that double bye. But let's go win them all. What the heck? We have a good basketball team.
Absolutely. Go Illini.
All right, John Decker. He's our Gray Television White House correspondent. He's the guy we call on Thursday. He's coming up. Don't go away. John's about to get on Air Force One. We got that next.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products. And complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Are you tired of shivering in the winter? Look no further than your local heroes at ABC Heating and Air Conditioning. Hi, this is Gina inviting you to give us a call at 217-352-5400 to book your appointment to make sure your furnaces run safely and efficiently this winter. We've been proudly locally owned and operated and have been serving our community for over 50 years. ABC, always be comfortable. Call me 217-352-5400 to book your appointment today or go to abcheatingandac.com.
First Federal Savings Bank of Champaign-Urbana invested in our community since 1908. Before you buy your home in 2024, we invite you to speak with one of our experienced lenders, Jack, Jim, Kim, or Lane. Experience the convenience of working with a local lender with local service, decisions, and loan underwriting in our comfortable offices. Visit us to experience the exceptional friendly service from our knowledgeable staff. Hey, if you're not already banking with us, give us a try. We think you'll love it here. We do. 356bank.com, First Federal. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 435120.
Supreme Court will hear arguments April 22nd over whether former President Trump is immune from prosecution in a federal election interference case. The immunity question has kept proceedings on hold since December. The court has yet to rule, meantime, on whether Trump can be kept off ballots. A state judge in Illinois says he's ineligible to run.
Illinois joins Colorado and Maine, where officials have argued he should be booted from the ballot, citing the same reason, that he engaged in an insurrection trying to hold on to power after the 2020 election.
Fox's Rich Edson. Trump and President Biden will both be at the southern border today.
In Texas, Trump and Biden will be 5 hours apart in areas seeing different numbers of migrants. Eagle Pass, where Trump is going, has seen over 2,000 migrants in recent days. Brownsville, where Biden is going, far fewer, just 46.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson. President Biden will be making remarks urging Congress to pass a border security bill. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. A former member of the Illinois Supreme Court has died. Benjamin Miller died over the weekend at 87. He was the first state Supreme Court justice to come from Springfield area. When he was put on the bench in 1984, Miller served on the court until 2001 and spent several years as Chief Justice. U of I students doing their part to save the ice arena in the heart of campus. Now the university posing 3 questions to students on the spring referendum. One option, having an off-campus ice arena instead. Another one considers tearing down the current space and replacing it with multi-use courts. Mantle Fire looking into a pair of fires that broke out in the same trailer within 12 hours of each other. Also looking into possible connection to a fire next door 3 weeks earlier. The fires happened on Mahoning Drive February 8, which killed 2 cats and displaced the person that was living there. So far at this point, the firefighters don't know the amount of damage or the cause. Again, they're investigating. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Thank you, Jim. Our weather brought to you by Houlihan.
It's date night tonight, every Thursday, live in the lounge from 6 to 8. $7 glass of house wine. All the food is terrific. And Jonathan Snyder's harp. It's just so soothing. Mm-hmm. So, first in St. Mary for Houlihan's tonight.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign, Urbana. It's Saturday. Nice one ahead here on this leap year day. Sunshine, afternoon temperatures for this last day in February at about 45 degrees with a south wind at about 8 to 15 miles per. Increasing clouds tonight, lows near 30. There'll be weather system passing well to the south of us for the day tomorrow, but still into the south end of the county and south from there. Maybe a couple sprinkles and snowflakes into the early to mid-morning and a sprinkle in the afternoon. Otherwise, we'll turn it partly sunny up to 46 and a light south wind. Clouds breaking in the 30s tomorrow night. We'll flirt with 60 and a mostly sunny, breezy Mallard Saturday. Tickling 70 in a couple of spots on Sunday. Partly sunny, windy, and seasonably mild. Be some shower activity here for the day. Monday at 67. Little rain in spots as well Tuesday to early Wednesday. High temperatures at about 54 next Tuesday. Middle 50s Wednesday. And heading towards 55 to 60 for the end portion of next week. That mild weather pattern will continue on. Another storm system due in for late next week as well. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
Yeah, thank you, Greg. Appreciate it. 17 degrees across East Central Illinois, ESPN 93.5. There's Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
I'm Stevie Jay. And ladies and gentlemen, moms and dads, boys and girls, gather around the radio. It's Thursday. John Decker. John Decker. John Decker. I want to talk to John Decker. He is the one we know. I want to talk to John Decker. He's at the White House in press room.
John Decker. John Decker.
Yes, children singing the theme from Combines.
John
John Decker, Great Television's White House correspondent. Well, we are still awaiting the invitation to join you on Air Force One, where you can say he's with me. But no, we can't do that today, I guess. So
Not today.
You're going to Texas with the president, is that right?
Going to Brownsville, Texas with President Biden today. We depart in about 2 hours or so, a little less than 2 hours. And it's the president's second visit to the U.S. Border with Mexico. The first visit was to El Paso, Texas. And this is going to be an interesting trip because 325 miles away from where we will be in Brownsville, in Eagle Pass, Texas, another border town, that's where former President Donald Trump will be. And Eagle Pass is really the epicenter of the migrant crisis that has existed for some time in this country.
And why, Mr. Decker, would the president want to not go to the epicenter?
I don't know. That's a really great question that I will ask today, how they came to choose Brownsville as the place where President Biden is visiting today. Now, when they announced this trip, it was already known that former President Donald Trump would be in Eagle Pass on this particular day, and yet knowing that, they chose to do their trip to the U.S.-Mexico border on the same day. So, interesting decision by the White House. I think it's a catch-22 for President Biden, Stevie, because he would be criticized if he didn't go to the U.S.-Mexico border, and yet at the same time he's already facing criticism for going there and not announcing any executive actions, for instance, that he could possibly take as it relates to changes in U.S. immigration policy.
Certainly, I would guess that the reason it's Brownsville, not Eagle Pass, is the visuals. Oh, look at all the people coming in. There's like 17 coming across in Brownsville. Maybe?
Right. Well, I think that certainly has a lot to do with it. When the president visited El Paso, Texas, he did not visit any migrant processing centers, nor is he going to visit, at least the schedule that I've seen, any migrant processing centers in his visit to Brownsville. I think that's a huge mistake. It's a mistake in the sense that how can you really know about how bad the crisis is, and it is a crisis, it's a humanitarian crisis, without seeing firsthand, the extent to which the Border Patrol is dealing with this huge influx of migrants every day. And last year was a record number in terms of interceptions and interactions that the Border Patrol had with would-be asylum seekers.
Okay, well, again, it's odd the same day, and the press will cover which?
It is.
President of the United States or the former President of the United States? Would they do both?
Both.
Yeah.
Both, absolutely. I mean, obviously, I'm with the president. I'm with President Biden. But, there will be my colleagues who will be in Eagle Pass with the former president. So both of these trips will be covered. After all, it is looking like a rematch, and these are the two likely presidential nominees that are taking this visit and talking about an issue that is a major issue for a large percentage of Americans, according to polls, and that's the issue of border security.
Okay, so why wouldn't they do executive action again?
I don't know. Last week it was floated, this idea that President Biden is contemplating taking some sort of executive action. And I say floated because it seemed to me that maybe he was ready to pull the trigger on changes to the asylum process, changing the standard for claiming asylum. But here we are a week later. The White House indicated that the president will not announce any changes in U.S. immigration policy, will not announce any executive actions while he's down there in Brownsville. So to me, it was just that. It was a trial balloon, and I think that what he heard was not favorable things coming from those who are in the progressive part of the Democratic Party.
Well, it's pretty simple to know what the president's going to say. He's going to stand there and blame Republicans for not doing it, and it's Trump's open border. And I just don't think people are going to bite into that.
Well, I think that's part of it. The president will make remarks while he's down in Brownsville. He'll talk about the need for Congress to pass that bipartisan border security bill that has already passed the Senate with bipartisanship. I wouldn't say strong, but with bipartisanship. And the House is not taking up that legislation. It is so difficult to pass an immigration bill. There has not been a major immigration bill that has passed Congress in decades. and that's unfortunate. The problem's only going to get worse if you don't confront the problem and realize, we need to have some compromise and at least pass some measures that will reduce the number of migrants coming into the U.S. on a yearly basis.
On the Tabbins Joint phone line, John Decker, the only attorney on press row, so you would know about the Supreme Court taking up the Trump immunity case.
I would.
Explain that to the people as to what this is and what it does to the January 6th trial.
Well, there's a trial related to alleged election interference that the special counsel, Jack Smith, would like to get underway in Washington, D.C., but there's a further delay because the Supreme Court is going to be hearing oral arguments concerning the issue of whether or not a president has absolute immunity for all of his official acts while he was president, even acts that are alleged to have been criminal in nature. That's what the Supreme Court will hear oral arguments on the week of April the 22nd. So a further delay and a start date for that trial makes it that much more difficult to have that trial take place before the presidential election. There's still a window for that to happen. But the Supreme Court, I think, really felt this is an issue that they needed to weigh in on. There's never been a case like this one, specifically involving alleged criminal acts by a president. And 4 justices, at the very least, said, we need to hear this case. We need to weigh in on this issue. We need to weigh in on this issue not only as it relates to the former president, Donald Trump, but also future presidents as well. So they know the, essentially rule of the law of the land, the process by which they can act and act knowing whether their actions would be covered by this concept of absolute immunity.
Is there a rush to get this done, and why would justice have to be rushed in any way?
Well, it shouldn't be rushed. I mean, the Supreme Court, having said that, on certain issues, puts issues on their docket rather quickly. Think about how quickly that Colorado ballot case was put on the docket. I mean, it was put on the docket a month after Donald Trump filed an appeal. So the Supreme Court can act very quickly when it wants to and when it needs to. Bush v. Gore is another example of that. They heard oral arguments in Bush v. Gore, and the next day they issued their opinion. I think that the Supreme Court recognizes that this particular issue will have a bearing to a certain extent on the 2024 presidential election. But that's, the hand that they've been dealt. That's obviously an issue that they feel is necessary for them to weigh in on ahead of the presidential election.
Yeah, okay, because it's like, Jack Smith wants to go fast so they can hang a conviction on him. I mean, is there any truth to that?
Jack Smith wants to have this case happen sooner rather than later. Remember, the original start date for the election interference trial, Stevie, was March the 4th. And so it's not happening March the 4th, that's for sure. And it's going to happen after the end of June if the Supreme Court upholds the unanimous ruling by the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals, which found that Donald Trump does not have absolute immunity. And so if the Supreme Court upholds that ruling by a unanimous three-judge panel of the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals, then Judge Chutkan, if she wishes to do so, could set a trial date, a start date for that election interference trial, and she could do so before the November presidential election.
Well, Illinois proudly joins Colorado and Maine for kicking Trump off the primary. Can a state do
There
that
you go.
on a federal candidate? Is that constitutional?
Well, we'll see. I think that the decision by the U.S. Supreme Court, which will be rendered any day now, concerning that Colorado ballot case and what the Colorado Supreme Court did in removing Donald Trump's name from the election ballot, that will have a bearing on what Illinois, and that judge in Illinois announced yesterday. It will have a bearing on what the Secretary of State of the state of Maine announced, removing Donald Trump from the ballot there. And, I was in the Supreme Court for that particular oral argument. I think it's going to be an 8-1, if not a 9-0 decision by the Supreme Court, overturning the ruling by the Colorado Supreme Court, allowing Donald Trump's name to be on the election ballot, not only in Colorado, Stevie, but on the election ballot on every state in the country.
Gotcha. Okay. Mitch McConnell stepping down November. What's the impact?
Well, Mitch McConnell, I personally think was one of, and he's not going away. He's going to remain the minority leader until after the November election. One of the greatest political minds in Washington, D.C. And think about all the people who come and go from Washington, D.C. He understood his conference. He understood the electorate. He could move legislation. He could block legislation. And it will be a loss. I think, he's the longest-serving leader in the history of the U.S. Senate, and he was someone who was and is an institutionalist. He never strived or had an ambition to be president. He wanted to be what he is right now, which is the leader for Republicans in the Senate. And, of course, when Republicans controlled the Senate, he was the majority leader. And so he had, of course, announcing that he's stepping down, not for health reasons, he said, but because the time is right. He's going to pass the baton to someone else in the party from a younger generation, and there will be a fight in terms of who will be the successor to Mitch McConnell. I think, at least 3 senators will certainly run for the position of minority leader in the U.S. Senate.
Well, there's 23 out of the 34 Senate seats up, and Republicans, I would think, have an edge to at least get 51-49 or so. It may not happen, but they certainly have the advantage. The last time around, it was more Republican seats to defend, so there's that.
Right, and also they already have a leg up because of West Virginia. Joe Manchin announcing he's not running for re-election, so that's going to be a pickup for Republicans. And, if things stand right now, that's 50-50, and if Donald Trump wins the presidency, the Republicans would control the U.S. Senate. They wouldn't even need to pick up an additional seat. So things are looking good for Republicans to win back control of the Senate. I think things are looking really bad for Republicans to hold on to the House, however. I think the reason for that is just dysfunction. You see it, I see it, dysfunction in terms of managing the House of Representatives. They throw out their own leader, Kevin McCarthy, George Santos, just a lot of things that, Republicans have not done well in terms of managing the House of Representatives for the past 2 years.
And finally, Hunter Biden.
Yes.
Any ripples from his closed-door deposition yesterday?
No, but I'm looking forward to the open, hearing, the one that's televised. Don't you want to see that, Stevie? That's the one that I think is going to be really interesting. And I realize it'll be the...
They're paying crazy money for fights on Saturday night. Couldn't they do pay-per-view for Hunter Biden's open?
Why not? Right?
I mean, listen, I'd probably pay $40. Who's going to be the questioning? Who's doing the questioning on that? That's Congress?
Well, when it's an open hearing, it's going to be every member of the House Oversight Committee, and there's a significant number. I think it's close to 36. I mean, it's going to be a long hearing, a long day for Hunter Biden when that hearing date is set. But I'll tune in. I'll watch it. I'll cover it. But a lot of the same questions, a lot of the same answers that will be that were posed yesterday will be posed once again when he testifies publicly.
When is that?
They don't have a date yet, so it's going to be in the next few weeks, I would imagine. Certainly well before Memorial Day. So it's going to happen. In due time.
John Decker. Have a great day, long day, Eagle.
Long day.
Going to what part of Texas? Brownsville, Texas.
I'm going to Brownsville.
Yep.
Yes.
And I'll look for you on the camera to be walking with the president, as he, I'm sure, wants to
I'll
talk
be
to
walking right alongside him. Absolutely, yes.
You'll get to your position and yell your question like you all have to do. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Is he answering questions? Is he doing any questions?
Yeah, he's doing that. He's doing more of that. He's doing more of that than he was, let's say, 2 months ago.
Yeah.
I think that's good. He needs to do that, because of doubts that people may have about his ability, that you may have, Stevie, about his abilities to be president. The more he answers questions, the more he travels, the more that he confronts that particular issue, the better he will be. So maybe he'll come back to the back of the plane and take some questions while we're on this long trip.
And John, the doctor had said he's perfectly fine.
No cognitive test.
Perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh,
No
by the way,
cognitive test, you're right.
when I am president, you're going to be my doctor. Okay, so we have that straight.
I'm not a doctor.
It's okay. You can play one. That's okay. It's really nobody else.
Okay.
John Decker, we appreciate you. Have a great trip today. We'll be looking for your reporting.
Thanks so much, Stevie. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next week. Have a good one.
That's John Decker about to get on Air Force One this morning with the president to Brownsville, Texas. Donald Trump will be in Eagle Pass, Texas. It's amazing. They're in Texas the same day.
Yes.
All right, it's 7:49. Did you know? We got a goodie coming up next with Nathaniel Son.
Make a difference in your community and start a rewarding career when you join the Regional Planning Commission Early Childhood Education Team. The RPC will be interviewing for open positions within the program during a hiring event Thursday, April 4th at 103 South Country Fair Drive in Champaign. The event runs from 9 a.m. to noon. Attendees are encouraged to bring their resumes and references. Don't miss this hiring event for the Early Childhood Education Program, April 4th from 9 to noon at 103 South Country Fair Drive in Champaign. Learn more at ccrpc.org.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
All right, weather brought to you by Busey. Been around a while, 1868.
One year after the University of Illinois.
Yeah, Busey, member FDIC.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather. Free Central Illinois Champaign event is Saturday. Nice one ahead here on this leap year day. Sunshine, afternoon temperatures for this last day in February at about 45 degrees with a south wind at about 8 to 15 miles per. Increasing clouds tonight, lows near 30. There'll be a weather system passing well to the south of us for the day tomorrow, but still into the south end of the county and south from there. Maybe a couple sprinkles and snowflakes into the early to mid morning and a sprinkle in the afternoon. Otherwise, we'll turn it partly sunny up to 46 and a light south wind. Clouds breaking in the 30s tomorrow night. We'll flirt with 60 and a mostly sunny, breezy Wilder Saturday. Tickling 70 in a couple of spots on Sunday. Partly sunny, windy, and seasonally mild. There'll be some shower activity here for the day. Monday at 67. Little rain in spots as well Tuesday to early Wednesday. High temperatures at about 54 next Tuesday. Middle 50s Wednesday. And heading towards 55 to 60 for the end portion of next week. That mild weather pattern will continue on. Another storm system due in for late next week as well. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Peter Rochus, Greg Soldier.
Thank you, Greg. We appreciate it. Still in the teens. It is Thursday, 7:52. We call it Did You Know? Calling my son Nathaniel Son. Call him Nathaniel Son so you know who he is.
And not to Karate Kid.
No. Yeah. Hey, Nathaniel Son. How are you?
Good morning. Great. How are you guys?
From Chicago. Just trying to stay warm. We had record-breaking temperatures just 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
Was it warm in Chicago?
It was, and I was thinking to myself when I was walking Tilly yesterday, and I was woefully underdressed. I'm like, I could have sworn it was about 60 degrees warmer the day before.
Yes, that is correct. Yeah. All right, so it's February 29. What are we doing? What do you know, Nathaniel?
It is indeed February 29th. Folks, in case you haven't noticed, it's not March yet. The month of February is still dragging on, and this year it's by an additional day. Now, if you're like me, you've probably maybe wondered and just brushed off why on earth we add an extra day to the end of the month of February every 4 years. And in order to answer this question, we have to go back about 2,000 years to when the Roman Empire was the leading global power. It's 46 BC, and Julius Caesar is realizing he needs to make a change to his Roman calendar. Because, you see, previously the Roman calendar was based on lunar cycles. And what this meant is their calendar was actually about 10 days shorter than the calendar we currently use today. Now, what this would do is every year a certain date would be in a slightly different part of the season. So, for example, in one year, June 10th might feel like June 10th, but the next year it would feel like June 20th, and the year after that it would feel like June 30th. Now, Caesar noticed that his contemporaries on the southern coast of the Mediterranean in Egypt had actually based their calendar off of the sun rather than the moon, and they weren't having this issue. So, in 46 BC, the Julian calendar was instituted, and it was exactly 365 days and 6 hours long. And the goal here was to line it up precisely with a solar year or the amount of time it takes our planet to travel around the sun. Now, this is great, but the only issue is 365 days and 6 hours is actually off. It was 11 minutes and 14 seconds too long. But what Europe had instituted is instead of adding 6 hours every year onto December 31st, we instead add 1 day every 4 years. So this had been used in Europe, and all is fine and well, but come the year 1582, they realized with that 11-minute discrepancy that they were off by 10 days. So Pope Gregory VIII issued a papal bull stating that October 4th of 1582 would be followed directly by October 15th, or 1582 to get us back on track. Now it's 2024, and we have things like the atomic clock, so we are a little bit more precise than 11 minutes. We're down to the seconds, but believe it or not, those who control the atomic calendar in our societal calendar also do make adjustments, but in the realm of a second here or there. So if you notice that your December 31st is short by a second every year or so, that's why. So it's February 29th, and yeah, you can tell someone today that we're here today because we didn't add 6 hours onto December 31st the past 4 years.
Wow. Well, I mean, this is remarkable how they would have calculated all that back in the days of Caesar 2,000 years ago and tried to figure it all out and then change it in 1582. We didn't have Instagram or Facebook in 15. How would we have survived without calling people? Hey, how'd they get the word out in 1582?
Right. That's a great question.
Take this note and put it on your ship, and don't forget to give it to Bob on the other side. I mean,
Christmas is coming 10 days earlier this year.
Yeah, no, it's, wow, that goes way back. I had no idea. So when you were Caesar, you could just say, yeah, let's change the calendar. Bring me that thing. Hey, Rick, bring me the calendar. We're changing it.
Well, and I'm sure there was a process in their government.
Sure.
They realized, because, they would have seen, hey, July is a lot colder this year than it was last year.
Yeah, right.
Like that.
Well, I wonder, but how would they get the word out? How would they, how would they?
Yeah, that's a good question. I assume,
I'm writing stuff on parchment.
Old school messengers.
I got parchment here. How do I get the word out?
The pigeons or something with the attachment
I don't
on
know.
their claw. Or
Well,
whatever.
good stuff. Did you know about Leap Year Day and Nathanielson delivering again? Well done, now. Well done.
All right.
Okay,
Well,
we'll call you
enjoy.
next week. Yeah, you too. And Tilly.
Happy Leap Day.
Tilly, your little Cocker Spaniel's doing fine.
Oh, she's heard it all week.
All right, talk soon, Nathanielson. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
You bet. In Chicago. You didn't know anything about that, did you?
I did not.
Pretty interesting. Very well done. Thank you, Nathanielson. ESPN 93.5. The news is next. Another hour to go.
Big Illini win, 105-97.
Yeah, 105-97. The most
High-scoring
points
game.
in a game in the Big Ten in 15
Nice.
years. Get to all that coming up.
Tapman's Towing, team of experienced tow professionals, is seeking others with CDLs, previous tow experience, and or strong interest in serving others. Please visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
Hi, this is Steve from Good Vibes.
And I'm Luke Goody from your men's basketball team.
So, Luke, you're what, about 6'7"?
Yeah? Why?
Because size matters in basketball and video.
I know it's easier to shoot over a smaller guy.
And it's easier to see every detail on the biggest screen. That's why we brought in Sony's 98-inch Bravia. Unbelievable TV for gaming and sports.
That's not taller than me, though, is it?
No, but it's 8 inches wider than you are high. It is large and in charge.
All right, so it's big. Does it lose something blown up that size?
Nope. The Sony Cognitive Processor delivers wide dynamic contrast, billions of natural colors, and high peak brightness all the way to the corners over 8 feet apart.
So all that means is it's expensive, right?
$69.99 isn't cheap, but it's less than a good projector and screen, and it works in bright rooms.
So, how much am I getting paid for this commercial again?
Well, not that much, Luke, but with your good credit, it's under $650 a month with 0%, including tax and installation by Good Vibes experts.
Bet like the pros with the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. Circus Sports is now available in Illinois. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I've been a lifelong sports bettor, and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. We're excited that the Circus Sports app is now ready for action. Experience big app bets with high betting limits, tight money line splits, and more. Now you can download, fund, and bet like a pro from anywhere in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Looking for a place to host a corporate meeting, intimate gathering, or a large-scale celebration? If so, the University of Illinois' Alice Campbell Alumni Center offers the perfect space and staff to make your function a success. A few rooms offered at the center include the Elegant Ballroom, the Richmond Family Gallery, and the Premier and Professional Executive Boardroom. For more information on renting a space at the Alice Campbell Alumni Center, visit uiaa.org/alumni-center or call 1-800-355-2580.
All right.
Go Illini.
I have a hard time remembering what month I'm in, let alone the day and the time and the seconds. But there is an atomic clock. Have you ever seen that?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool. If you ever want to know the time, just Google atomic clock.
Absolutely.
It is 8 o'clock. You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Two more Trump legal decisions. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The Supreme Court will consider an appeal in a criminal case, which we'll get to. But first, another state wants to block him from a Republican 2024 primary.
Add Illinois to the list. A judge there says the 14th Amendment prohibits former President Donald Trump from being on the ballot in that state. Illinois joins Colorado and Maine, where officials have argued he should be booted from the ballot, citing the same reason, that he engaged in an insurrection trying to hold on to power after the 2020 election.
Fox's Rich Edson, the former president, has appealed those rulings, calling it election interference. The Supreme Court is already considering the Colorado case, and it's also taking up another Trump appeal that tries to get the federal 2020 election-related charges dismissed.
Justices will hear arguments in late April in a landmark case over whether former President Trump has immunity from criminal prosecution for conduct alleged to involve official acts during his tenure in office. Lower courts have so far rejected immunity claims from former President Trump's legal team in a case brought by special counsel Jack Smith.
Fox's Jared Halpern. Today, both President Biden and former President Trump will go to the border, visiting different areas of Texas amid record illegal immigration. Russian President Vladimir Putin is warning NATO with another veiled nuclear threat, days after some of our allies suggested NATO countries could send troops into Ukraine to help battle Russia.
He also claimed the United States is trying to inflict strategic defeat on Russia and the West as a whole trying to weaken the country from within. Then, as intelligence chiefs around the world voice fears that Russia is trying to interfere in elections, President Putin vowed no other countries would be allowed to meddle with his internal affairs.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. We just got an inflation update to gauge the Federal Reserve tracks closely, showing consumer prices rose more month to month, January than in December, 0.3%, but the year-over-year increase declined to 2.4%. That's the smallest in 3 years. America's listening to Fox News.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare information guide absolutely free. Call 800-919-3200. That's 800-919-3200. 800-919-3200. Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
There's a lot more death in Gaza, where officials say more than 100 people were killed as they gathered to receive humanitarian aid. There are conflicting reports as to what happened, including Israeli claims a delivery truck rammed the crowd, and there is also a stampede and an attempted looting, prompting Israeli troops to open fire. Palestinian officials now claim more than 30,000 people have died in the war in Gaza as Israel battles Hamas militants. Smoke covers a lot of the Texas Panhandle region, in a wildfire disaster that has scorched more than 1 million acres.
Firefighters have not made a lot of progress containing the smokehouse fire, which has charred 1,300 square miles of the Texas Panhandle and even crossed into Oklahoma. It's the largest of several fires that have closed roads and caused evacuations, power outages, and the death of at least one person, an 83-year-old grandmother. Fritch, Texas Mayor Tom Ray says 40 to 50 homes have been destroyed and natural gas has been shut off to the town, which lost hundreds of homes to a 2014 fire. Today's forecast may help the firefighters who are working to corral the fires, with temps expected in the 40s and a chance of rain ahead of this weekend's increasing winds. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
The House could approve short-term funding to prevent a partial government shutdown this weekend to keep working on a long-term budget. Speaker Mike Johnson tells Fox.
We broke this up so that we could actually amend and negotiate and fight for policy initiatives on 12 separate appropriations bills. We've done that.
Now, the plan in Congress is to extend Friday's deadline to next Friday, then another funding deadline to later in March to pass all 12 bills. Now, in addition to the update on inflation, we also got an employment report showing first-time jobless claims rose about 6% last week to 215,000, while the number of Americans continuing to collect unemployment benefits rose to 1.9 million. That is the most since November. On Wall Street, stock futures were down. Now they're up ahead of the opening bell this hour. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. An Urbana woman hospitalized after a fight with a teen family member has died. Coroner says 26-year-old Montoria Samuels passed away at the hospital Tuesday. Police were called to Rainbow View Saturday night and found Samuels unresponsive, the woman fighting with a 15-year-old family member. A women's semi-professional soccer team calling Urbana its home starting this spring. The Junction Football Club will join the Women's Premier Soccer League. The team will play home games at Urbana High School's field. Parkland College's soccer coach, Mark Sikora, is involved with the nonprofit. U of I students doing their part to save the ice arena in the heart of campus. Now the university posing questions to students on the spring referenda. One option having an off-campus ice arena instead. Another one considers tearing down the current space and replacing it with multi-use courts. Gas prices in the state staying at around average. Your best bet, shop around for the best prices. And that's a look at what's happening. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Thank you, Jim Miller. It's our meteorologist, Greg Solier. Our guy, John Decker, who we call every Thursday. He's a great television White House correspondent. He gets to ride on Air Force One rather frequently. And he's riding with the president down to Texas. And I told him I'd like to go. But I just said, listen, you walk up and just say he's with me. I'm sure that'll work. But apparently not. So
yeah, why not?
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea.
Woo, I could have
just do what you can until Secret Service intervenes.
And I could just have a Hawaiian shirt on, going, "Cool, man, this is awesome." Hey, man, you serving lunch? What do you got? Can I come look?
Hey, Hey, by the way, on a side note, can I put your name in the ballot now?
Yeah, right, that's it.
I think that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. Anyway, do you get tired of going to Air Force One and flying on? I don't know if you would. The seats are nice, big,
I've never done it, I suspect it's probably, no, you never get tired of it.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. He says
it's an office in the air, really.
Well, it really is. And he says it's an honor, which is cool. All right, we check our weather with meteorologist Greg Solier. Nice and cool this morning, but things are going to be warming up soon.
Yes, a nice turnaround in temperature readings. Yeah, if you add up all the days that we've experienced winter time this winter season, we get ready to close the books on it, by the way, at least the meteorological aspect of it. March 1 starts meteorological springtime. I don't know, we've had maybe 10 days, 2 weeks of winter around here. If you had everything up between minimal snow and cold around here, we probably had more thunderstorm days than we have snow days across the area, and record-setting warmth as well. But milder air, don't think it's going to be anything in the record-setting category, but gee whiz, we made it into March around here. At a reading now of 28 degrees, there's a nice temperature pop of 10 degrees over the past hour and a half or so. 25 at Rantoul, 26 Danville, 25 over at Bloomington Normal, to 33 at St. Louis, to 29 up at Chicago. Chicago, sunshine, more seasonal temperatures, says the weather forecaster for the day today. The high around 45, southwest to south breeze, increasing clouds tonight down near 30. There is a system bringing some beneficial moisture to Oklahoma and Texas. There'll be probably some rain down there in the Rio Grande Valley, I suspect, at least a couple of showers around. And that system may bring about a couple of snowflakes and sprinkles tomorrow morning south of Champaign County, maybe a sprinkle in the afternoon. I think everyone else here northward, partly sunny and 46, 36 tomorrow night. For the weekend, up near 60 Saturday, close to 70 on Sunday. Yeah, with a couple of showers on Monday, a few spits of little rain Tuesday and Wednesday next week. High temperatures from the 60s on Monday, still above average, well into the 50s next Tuesday and Wednesday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Peter Olchus, Greg Soldgate.
All right, so I just got a text from Christian. He told me he registered me for the CrossFit Open.
Okay, good.
CrossFit Games are on ESPN every summer in Dallas. They take the top 30 men and the top 30 women to find the fittest person in the world. And there are age groups. The group is 65 plus.
Okay.
I'm trying to get in the 95 plus category. I'm trying to create one so that I could enter that as... I think I could compete at the 95 plus. Some of the people in the world, you look around and say, well, everybody's so fat. No, they're not. There's some people out there that are unbelievably fit.
And they're going to feel better in the long run.
Oh, my gosh. I can't tell you. And I know.
Looking at it, it's just that it's Girl Scout cookie season.
Well, there's that. And that is a problem. I understand. I totally relate. But it's just like, why am I nervous? It'll be at the gym. And I'm truly nervous. I have not felt this since high school. When I competed like that, where you're nervous before a game or a match or whatever you're doing. And didn't you get nervous?
For volleyball games. When we went to state, oh my goodness.
I have not felt this in many, many moons. But it's exciting, but I don't want to embarrass myself. I don't want to get hurt, that kind of thing. But I'm really excited about it, and it's golf.
What's it look like? I mean, are you lifting weights?
I don't know. They have these clues, and they release the clues at the beginning of the week. There's 3 straight weeks, so 3 straight Fridays I'll be competing.
Oh, wow.
I'd be laughing too. No, actually, I would be laughing. Because I what you do in CrossFit is you do all these, it's functional fitness. Where you lift the box at home, it's okay because you're doing stuff
that's right.
that allows you to live a little easier without pulling a back muscle while you're coughing.
You know, burpees and push-ups and pull-ups.
There's weights of all kinds, but I'm still doing things that I've never done before, and it's almost a year and a half now of going on. Yeah, a year and a half of working at CrossFit. And it's just, I cannot tell you how much more energy I have these days.
Well, they're all over the world. Didn't you guys even work out in Iceland?
Yeah, Christian, it was before I got into it, and Christian did find 3 places in Iceland. There are people all over, and there's world rankings. You'll be able to look up Stevie Jay and world rankings. And I did not get last year, and I kind of was proud of that.
Yes.
Yeah. So I actually beat somebody, which the other people ought to look up and go, I should quit. I should absolutely quit if that dude.
Hey, maybe they're just starting out or something.
Maybe so. Anyway, it's really cool, and it's a feeling that I haven't had in a very long time. And I mean, I'm not an athlete. I was never very good at anything, but I played a lot of stuff.
To hear you talk, you'd think you were really, really good.
Played college baseball, all those kinds of things. Oh, exactly. All right.
But for those of us who, aren't real fit in this chapter of life, it just takes doing it. And, you always talk about the why.
You got to have a why. And frankly, after Grace's wedding, I was struggling for a minute with that. Why am I doing this? So when I was telling Janet what I was lifting, and one weight was kind of heavy, and she said, why? And then I was just like, my brain got frazzled. I was like, because I was like, Olympics? I'm working on the Olympics.
What is the end game? The end game is to feel better.
It is.
You feel better when you work out. You just have to get over the hump. I hate the hump.
The hump is awful. Mm-hmm. But it's the community he has over there. There's a map, and it's right at 5th and University, so it's near campus. So he has 6 continents represented in that gym. 6. We don't have Antarctica. We have no penguin tender that is signed up.
Okay.
But we got police, fire, doctors, lawyers. It is a wide scope of people, PhD students, master's students. It's just really a great community. Outside church, it's the best community I've got.
Awesome.
And yet then you feel so good. So anyway, I'm about 1 out of 172 in recruiting. It's just hard to get guys to do it because, listen, we look like we look when you get that age. That's what you look like.
Right.
And then you just kind of put your feet up and you're tired for I don't want that. That's my why now, is I don't want to look like everybody else looks. And maybe I'm chasing it. I'm not doing any cosmetic anything.
Right.
But I'm certainly chasing the fact that I don't want to get old yet. And maybe I never will. I don't want to get old.
Right.
Old means different things to different people, but I don't want to get old. And old means sitting around.
Well, and when you see the people who have made it over 100, they're always, pretty fit.
I don't know.
They keep moving. I think that's a key. Just got to keep moving.
Got to keep moving. You got to have a schedule. You have to have things and understand.
And as far as the processed food, they just came out with Cocoa Puffs and some of them really processed food. And they talk about, diabetes and health problems and mental problems too with all this sugar. I mean, it's and you're back to your Girl Scout cookie season. I do love Girl Scout cookies, but. All right, it is 8:14, ESPN 93.5. Illinois wins in a real shootout. Man, that was good.
Man, 105-97.
Yes.
And how was the crowd?
It was great.
Excellent. I had a dead crowd alert out for this one.
Well, and
8 o'clock at night.
I felt like it was a little on the loose side as far as, filling it up. I mean, they said it was sold out.
Well, they sold the tickets.
Right.
People didn't come. Was it the end zone tips?
That's right.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Well, I kind of expected that 8 o'clock game Wednesday, Minnesota, blah, blah, blah. But Minnesota, they were so good last night. Brad Underwood after the game.
Not many college games you see with 200 points. Ben's done a great job. I knew they were very good. They're playing like a top 25 team, and they caused you a lot of problems. Thought Elijah Hawkins was absolutely special today. 12 assists, no turnovers. He didn't have to score. I thought Terrence did a pretty good job on him in the first half. And we kind of flipped Terrence over to Cam, and Cam's, my opinion, it's what a pro looks like. I think there's very few guys in college basketball who can shoot off the bounce. I think they told me they had 9 of their threes were off the bounce.
Well, they also made 15 out of 21. That's 70%. Coleman Hawkins, second half. What do you say?
Came down the court, got some good looks, and capitalized off of it. They were trying to double team in that pistol action, and we kind of took advantage of that. So it was good to see. Good to see the momentum shift like that.
Yeah, every game is like, phew. I believe, I'm emotional about it, but I believe every team gives us their Super Bowl shot.
Yeah.
When we play them.
It's true.
What the heck?
They just get pumped up and ready to go.
Well, Brad had said there are 5 teams with better offensive efficiency in the Big Ten than Purdue was last year, as Purdue was one of the top teams efficient last year in offense. It just said, would you rather be able to score the ball or stop them on defense? And if I had to pick, I'd take score the ball. In the NCAA tournament, you better be able to score. And I think we can score. We have a hard time stopping people. You can say, well, horrible defense, or you can say, those guys made crazy good shots. I think there's a mixture. I think the guys are... I think their defense is decent. It's just they're making every shot.
It's true.
Man. Anyway, good win.
Saturday at noon in Wisconsin at the Kohl Center. Northwestern beat Maryland 68-61. Tonight we have Nebraska at Ohio State 5:30. Michigan State is at Rutgers for the 7:30 game. Illinois women in action at 7 against Michigan State. Illinois women 13-13 on the season. Trending in women's basketball is Caitlin Clark with another 33-point game. In fact, a 17th triple-double, and beating Lynette Woodard's record from her 77-81 run with 3,649 points. Caitlin Clark surpassed that yesterday in the 108-60 win as number 6 Iowa took down Minnesota. We also had the double overtime as the Bulls beat Cleveland, finally pulling it out. The guy in front of me at the Illini game was watching the game on his phone, and I was clearly looking over his shoulder. He didn't say anything, though, but 132-123, and I was especially watching Iowa with his 21 points. DeMar DeRozan led the team with 35 points. We had Parkland split. The women won against Illinois Central College 77-60, but the men lost to Illinois Central College 78-74. Their Parkland Cobras are 25-4 on the season.
And two topless beat our Unity Rockets. I think it was 48-39. And Tuscola lost to Christ the King Lutheran.
That's right.
And probably was an upset. Christ the King Lutheran must be very, very good to beat Tuscola.
And STM is out, so SJO is still in.
St. Joe Ogden is really our last county school. So we'll be certainly rooting for St. Joe Ogden to win the sectional.
I'll talk about the ice arena and if that's going to happen on campus. Will they revamp what we've got going, or do we want the community to be a part and go back to that concept? It's interesting that's happening and voting now. So as far as investing in yourself with the free rewards checking, Fisher National Bank, instead of losing a little each month, wouldn't it be nice to earn on your money? Switch to Fisher National. They offer excellent annual percentage yields with no service fees or minimum balance. Simply make a dozen debit card purchases, receive electronic statements, and have one direct deposit each month. It's as easy as that to maximize your money with a bank to invest in you. Learn more at FisherNational.com. Fisher National Bank, exceptional communities, exceptional people, member FDIC.
Check your weather brought to you by Kurt Lenschow. He's at State Farm Insurance. You need some insurance, you want a good local guy, good local team. Kurt Lenschow, State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign and Van Ness is Saturday. Nice one ahead for this last day of February. Next weather system passing well to the south, but maybe south of Champaign County. Perhaps a few sprinkles and snowflakes tomorrow. Otherwise, next organized wet weather maker back in here for early next week with temperatures not quite as warm, but still well above average for the beginning part of March. Sunshine, more seasonal temperatures on this leap year day. Afternoon temperatures to about 45. Bit of a southwest to south breeze, increasing cloudiness tonight. Lows near 30 tomorrow. Maybe a couple snowflakes and sprinkles south of Champaign County. A sprinkle as well in the afternoon, becoming partly sunny tonight, about 46 degrees. Light south wind. Clouds break tomorrow night. Lows down to 36. And a breezy and milder, mostly sunny Saturday, getting close to 60, up to about 69 to 70. A windy and seasonally mild Sunday, and some rain in the forecast for Monday, Tuesday, perhaps into Wednesday next week. High temperatures into the upper 60s on Monday, 50s Tuesday and Wednesday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
The latest readings on inflation indicate annual price increases are mostly moderating or holding steady, though the Federal Reserve still has work to do to get inflation down to 2%. The Personal Consumption Expenditures, or PCE index for January, matched expectations, coming in up 0.3%. Core PCE rose at a sharper 0.4%. The PCE for the year ending in January was up 2.4%, which improved, and the core PCE on an annual basis slowed to 2.8%. The number of people filing for unemployment benefits for the first time rose to 215,000 last week, and continuing claims, those still receiving benefits, increased to 1.9 million. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Kosova, invested in you.
I'm Dana Perino, co-host of The Five and co-anchor of America's Newsroom. Join me for my brand new podcast, Perino on Politics. Listeners of Everything Will Be Okay will gravitate toward this podcast too. Every Monday, I'm going to talk to people I trust in politics as they tell me what they're seeing and thinking in the 2024 election cycle. As they prep me to cover the upcoming election, they'll prep you, the voters, too. Make sure you subscribe to this series on FoxNewsPodcast.com or wherever you download podcasts, and leave a rating and review.
Hey, where are you headed?
To Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola.
What do they have there?
What don't they have there? Living room furniture, benches, chests, love seats, sectionals, tables, bedroom sets, hutches, nightstands, end tables, cabinets, mirrors, stools, clocks, lamps, pillows, rugs, desks, media consoles, patio furniture, Tempur-Pedic mattresses, and more.
So, everything.
Yeah, probably could have just said that.
Kelsey Furniture, quality for less.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weaver's Flooring and Furniture Gallery. Take a look around your home. Is it finally ready for some much-needed updates? If you don't know where to start, then just meet with one of our experts. We'll help you find the perfect waterproof plank floor for your kitchen or that stain-resistant, super soft carpet for your bedroom. Finish your room update with a custom sofa and chairs, or choose a trendy, in-stock dining set that's priced right. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Jesse with Land's Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions, here to tell you today, hey, we've got solutions for you. Do you have gurgling toilets, slow drains? Have you been told that you have to jackhammer and mess up your entire house and property just to fix a pipe? Have you been told your sewer lines failed, your drain lines don't work? Call us today, have our expert drain cleaning team come out, run your lines, camera them, locate, and we can offer you a solution today. Land's Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions. Why call anyone else?
Yeah, good luck to our guys. 6 of them. 6
Illinois football players, yep. Johnny Newton, Keith Randolph are our defensive linemen, and they're in action, I think, at 2 today. Then wide receiver Isaiah Williams, defensive lineman Isaiah Adams, and Julian Pearl, and tight end Tip Ryman, all invited to the combine that goes on in Indianapolis through March 3rd.
So these guys have been training, well, essentially, since they were little boys, not knowing what it would lead to, and then obviously getting in Illinois and doing some good things. They all are trying to get a professional contract. The odds are that some will sign as free agents.
Yeah.
$20,000 in a try.
I mean, look how it turned out for Devin Witherspoon last year. Chase and Sidney Brown, Quan Martin, all part of things. We've got a good Illini tradition that seems to be building.
But I think Johnny Newton's probably the only guy. Keith Randolph maybe later in the rounds. I don't know about Isaiah. I don't know about Isaiah Adams. Tip Ryman, I don't know, but I think they'll all get a chance.
And Julian Pearl, I think, had an ankle issue.
Julian Pearl, okay.
Yeah.
I think they'll have a shot, but man, you know what happens when you go as a free agent to a camp? They give you a look. And it's like you're trying to take that man and his family's income away. I mean, these are grown men with families, and they're not going to go down easily. You're going to have to beat them.
Yeah.
And it's, anybody know physical? Football's pretty physical. Wow.
Well, and you talk about being under stress for your CrossFit thing happening. Can you imagine having all these scouts just running the clock and seeing how you do on your 100-yard dash or whatever?
But listen, here's what it is. You have a stopwatch. You're running whatever the yardage is. I don't know if it's 40 or 50 or 60 anymore. But they have the stopwatch on you, and say it's a 40, and you run a 4.5, and you should be 4.4. Forget he's slow.
Yeah, I know.
He's slow. It's just...
Remember the one guy we had on that talked about he didn't have the shoes?
Yeah.
And that blew everything.
Yep. He was a guy that he had a shot at the NFL and everything else, and his agent... His shoes were like
the wrong size shoe.
Size or two too big. I guess you tried that on before. Wouldn't
know,
you warm up in them and stuff? I don't know.
I mean, have something. Be prepared if this is your only shot.
It's not easy. Very, 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 very few make it, and it's just tough because guess what? There are millions that want to do what you're doing.
Yeah.
But football would be about the last thing I'd want to do. I mean, the impact and the physics of it all have changed completely, where it's just the hits and the fierce and the ferocity just because of the athleticism. You just don't find any non-agile NFL players anymore. Back in the day, linemen were little pot-belly gut and worked in the offseason to make money, and tough people, way tougher than we are now. They played with all kinds of, not that they should have been, but they were playing with all kinds of injuries.
Right.
Because they wouldn't get their $50.
So the NFL draft is April 25th through the 27th. It was nice to have Coach Brett Bielema on yesterday and talk about what's happening in Indianapolis. And the spring game for us is on April 20th at 1.
And again, how are we going to be? I have no idea. I have no idea who we have coming in, who we lost. It's just you don't know.
Yeah, because he was talking about the portal, but he was also talking about how many seniors graduated early and have joined the team, wasn't it?
High school seniors.
High school seniors that are now on campus.
A lot of times.
I think he said 10.
I know, but don't you kind of miss probably the best semester of your high school career is the last one when you're a senior?
It's just a different world
it
now.
Is.
And the parents and the athletics, they want you to get a jump on it.
Well, and they do, and they learn the playbook a little bit and have a clue what's going on, get a start on maybe playing time as a freshman kind of stuff.
But you're right. Your prom.
I guess you go back for the prom, but
I guess you would.
Yeah, but
can you?
I don't know. I think so. Well, maybe.
Anyway, 359-2255 if you ever want to chime in to the morning therapy you get here on ESPN 93.5.
Okay, so we've got our buddy Tim Onstadt who's coming here to Philo, downtown Philo, to a kind of a practice smoke.
Yeah, and we are kind of keeping it on the down low. It's not a big major event.
No,
here
we're
in
not
Dun-
creating it. What we are, if you want to drive by, come by.
Right.
But it's not like, hey, come on. This is just watch a guy that, do you know, he just knows. It's unbelievable how smart he is on all these aspects of barbecue. I mean, he's told me before, man, it was 214 degrees. It should have been 212.
Right.
I don't think like that.
Right.
Just like pitching. I always thought the white plate, you'd get it over that, but not on the corners and the sides. And he's just, the fine tuning. So we're going to fine tune how to pick a piece of meat here today.
Okay.
We'll get into that with Tim in a matter of moments. Stand by. But again, baseball season is getting closer. It is March tomorrow.
Wow.
And we spring ahead on the clocks a week from Saturday.
On the 10th.
Yep. Going to lose the nice daylight in the morning, but be light till 7 or something. All right. News coming up. ESPN 93.5. It is 8:28.
A tradition of excellence over 150 years in the making. At Busey Bank, we're committed to building relationships that span generations. Wherever your journey in life leads you, we are with you along the way, creating a legacy for you and your family. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
When it comes to finding a reliable vehicle, look no further than Sarah Champagne, your trusted automotive destination. They carry a lineup of top brands, including Honda, BMW, Subaru, GMC, and Buick. And they're not just about cars, they're about people. Their team is dedicated to providing you with trustworthy service and dependable vehicles that fit your lifestyle. Experience the difference at Sarah Champagne. Visit Sarah, S-E-R-R-A, champagne.com.
Illini fans, this year we celebrate the 100th anniversary of Memorial Stadium for the 2024 Fighting Illini football season. Season tickets for the 2024 football season are on sale now, and Illini fans who renew their season tickets by February 1st are eligible to win amazing prizes, memorabilia, and experiences. Secure your season tickets for Homecoming, Dad's Day, and a special rededication of Memorial Stadium on October 19th against Michigan. Visit fightingillini.com for more information.
I've got to clean out this garage. Let's see. What's the cheapest and easiest dumpster service in our area?
Here's what I found. The doggy bag.
Think she's broken. I'm not looking for takeout. Siri, try again.
The doggy bag from Bulldog Disposal in Mahomet.
Doggy bag? What's that?
If you got junk that needs to go, but you don't want the hassle of having an enormous dumpster delivered, grab a doggy bag, keep it as long as you need. They'll come take it away. For more information, just visit bulldoggybag.com.
That's bulldoggybag.com.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. With the Supreme Court announcing it will hear arguments April 22nd about Donald Trump's presidential immunity against prosecution in a federal election interference case, Fox chief legal correspondent Shannon Bream says, win or lose, Trump gets the delay he wanted.
Once you get this decision either way from the Supreme Court in June, probably late June, if the former president loses on this immunity issue, he's still going to be able to go back to the trial court where it's on pause now and say, okay, you pick up where we left off and paused months ago. Now we need months of discovery and pretrial motions.
Meantime, a judge in Illinois kicks Trump off the ballot there for trying to overturn the 2020 election. The Supreme Court's already considering that question. The Israeli military says there was a stampede for food aid in Gaza City, and soldiers opened fire after being threatened. The Gaza Health Ministry says more than 100 Palestinians were killed, many more injured. The Israeli military says many of them were trampled. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. An investigation's underway into a residential fire in Champaign. Firefighters called to a home on West Tremont Street Tuesday. They were able to get the homeowner out without any injuries. The cause of the fire yet to be determined. The homeowner going to have to find somewhere else to live for the time being. University of Illinois College of Veterinary Medicine had an email error Monday night. They sent out acceptance letters to 44 applicants who were actually waitlisted. The college said they recognized the error almost instantly and sent a correction minutes later. They said admissions decisions being sent to hundreds of applicants, and an administrative error led to the unfortunate mistake. A doctor with Carle Health wants the community to know about recent rise in measles, saying there aren't any cases in central Illinois right now, but feels it's important to open the conversation to prevent the disease. Indiana Department of Public Health confirming from Northwest Indiana has it, and that a person went to 3 different Chicago hospitals while contagious. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All righty. Thank you, Jim. We check our weather brought to you by Carl.
And, February, we think of Valentine's Day and our heart. Well, you deserve the best in heart care with the Heart and Vascular Institute, authorizing specialized care to keep your heart healthy and happy. Visit carl.org for details.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather. For Central Illinois, Champaign, and Van Amp is Saturday. Nice one ahead here on this leap year day. Sunshine, afternoon temperatures for this last day in February at about 45 degrees with a south wind at about 8 to 15 miles per hour. Increasing clouds tonight, lows near 30. There'll be a weather system passing well to the south of us for the day tomorrow, but still into the south end of the county and south from there, maybe a couple sprinkles and snowflakes into the early to mid morning and a sprinkle in the afternoon. Otherwise, we'll turn it partly sunny up to 46 and a light south wind. Clouds breaking in the 30s tomorrow night. We'll flirt with 60 and a mostly sunny, breezy Wilder Saturday. Tickling 70 in a couple of spots on Sunday. Partly sunny, windy, and seasonably mild. There'll be some shower activity here for the day. Monday at 67. Little rain in spots as well Tuesday to early Wednesday. High temperatures at about 54 next Tuesday. Middle 50s Wednesday. And heading towards 55 to 60 for the end portion of next week. That mild weather pattern will continue on. Another storm system due in for late next week as well. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Peter Rochus, Greg Soldier.
And now, a brand new show called Smoke, where we help you with your grill and making the best meat ever. With award-winning competition pitmaster Tim Onstadt. Smoke in Tim's grill. He's the best brisket maker ever. Smoke in Tim's grill. And now award-winning competition pitmaster Tim Onstadt. So you'll be here March 27 to kind of get, stretched out for your early April competition. Is that right?
Yeah, it is. And I need to do a retraction from last week. I argued with you and said that it was the 27th. That's because of a calendar that I have from the Midwest Truckers Association is wrong. And I know there's a lot of farmers out there in the area that deal with Midwest Truckers, and they need to know that their calendar, they sent out 4,500 calendars with no March 25th. But to make up for it, they put in 2 March 28th.
I see.
You ever wonder if people...
The copywriter.
Proofread that?
Dude, I missed that. Sorry.
I think there's a job opening somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. I bet so. All right, it's our buddy Tim Onstadt. Pork butt. Talk to me.
Well, a lot of people know it as Boston butt, which is nowhere near where the piece of meat comes from. It's the front shoulder of a pig, but in the 17s and 1800s, they came. It was popular in Boston, Massachusetts, and they shipped it out in barrels called butts, and so it became a Boston butt, which we just call a pork butt now. But that's probably the first thing people start out smoking, and there are a few little tips when you go to the store and buy them. They're in cryovac plastic packages, and you can see through them pretty well. But what you're looking for on one end is a bone stub, and that's the joint of the shoulder blade. The shoulder blade goes through the middle, and on the other end from the bone is what's called the money muscle. And it's called that because in competition, that's where you can make your money. If you cook one of those right, it's good. But it'll have vertical stripes on it, 4 or 5 vertical stripes, be 7 or 8 inches long. And when you trim your butt, that a lot of people don't know it, but they just throw a pork butt on a smoker, put some seasoning on it, and smoke it. But it needs to be trimmed up. Get rid of the ugly fat that you wouldn't want to eat. On the bone end, there's a vein you want to take out. And then just follow, there's a natural seam in there that you'll follow along the shoulder blade down to the bottom of it, and then in one corner of that is a gland that you'll want to take out. It's just a gray piece of matter that's encased in white-looking fat. And there's another one, you'll want to isolate that money muscle towards the bone side of the blade, shoulder blade, and take out that. There's another gland down in there you want to take out, but that'll help the flavor of your meat tremendously.
Unbelievable. So how did you learn this, and why can't you do a YouTube video so we could all watch you do it? That'd be really
there are a bunch of YouTube videos
Not
out
with you
there.
on it. Not with you on it, Tim.
Are they that good,
no,
Tim?
they're second placers. They're just second placers.
It's guys that are a lot better at it and faster at it than I am. But that's one of the ways I learned was watching those.
Yeah.
But I've done hundreds now. Some of them I still screw up a little bit, but there's a lot of little things like that you can do to really increase the quality of your home barbecue.
Hey, so how do you sharpen your knives?
I have a belt sharpener. And I don't remember the name of it, but we use a electric belt sharpener
I'll be darned.
to sharpen
You got to
knives.
be real careful when you do that, don't you?
Yes, I get some nicks.
Okay. It's Tim Onstad, our best brisket maker ever. So he perfect score at a national competition, so that's why I hang my hat on that. And he knows what he's doing out there, and it's great to hear him talk about stuff. Okay, so I'll still want a video from you, but I can go online and look about pork butts, I guess. I still haven't smoked my cheese, and I got to thinking, if I just have a regular grill, how would I put wood in that? I'd have to have a smoker, wouldn't I?
Yes, you.
I actually do have a smoker, man. It's out on the grill. I just haven't used it in a long time.
Okay.
So I put the stuff underneath where they go, and then I could smoke my cheese. I still have not smoked my cheese, but I got wood chips, and I'll do that because I'm not supposed to use those pellets.
Yeah, do it this weekend.
Yes,
So fun.
you'll still want to use the wood chips you have. You can use in that wood box that I gave
But
you.
I'm doing a cold, so I don't have to do anything with the heat. I'm going to put that underneath, start the thing, smoke starts, cheese in, couple of hours, 2-3 hours, let it sit in my fridge 2 weeks, boom. Is that pretty much it?
Yep, that's pretty much it.
I do retain knowledge sometimes.
There you
Just
go,
want to keep that
Stevie.
cheese off of any heat. You'll end up with a melted mess.
Yeah, I bet I will. All right, dedicated diesel Dixie choppers. Boy, you're going to be mowing grass here before we know it.
We're feeling the spring.
Well, a couple of days ago I thought that, and then Greg threw us a curveball, and yesterday and today haven't seemed too much like mowing season. But Donna is in a generous mood, more than I've ever seen her. She wants to give $2,000 off any residential model Z2 lawnmower, Dixie chopper.
Well, these E2s are, what, 5
Z2s.
or 6? Z2s, they're 5,000 or 6,000, aren't they? I mean, so I get 2 off.
Or more.
10? How much do I need to go
Well,
buy a
you-
Z2?
Well, you can, depending on the model, you can get up to $9,000 on them. But,
What's the starting price on a Z2?
I 5,000.
So I can
off
get
the top of my
2,000
head.
off a $5,000. What? Are you serious?
Yes. Yeah, Donna's generous. I think I've had my eye on a new rifle. I may sneak out to the gun store while she's in this mood. But she also wants to give $500 off of any Rhino tiller. Rhino is the parent company of Dixie Chopper. We do a lot of work for Rhino, and we've got some 5 and 6 foot 3-point hitch PTO tillers that she'll give $500 off any one of those. And it's garden time too. People need to get that ground worked up, and these work great for that.
How much is a tiller? I have no idea. What's a tiller cost?
She handles that. I don't know. She didn't tell me that. She just told me $500 off.
I think it's awesome. So they need to go see Andy out there, dedicated diesel, don't they?
Yep, go see Andy at 1313 Triumph Drive. You can call him at 217-328-0562. Connect on Facebook at Dedicated Equipment, and he will get with you and get you all set up.
Gale Ferrex Trucking, need anything?
We have an opening for a flatbed guy to deliver these big Rhino mowers all over the country. There's really good money in that. The outbound loads don't tarp, so it's pretty easy as far as flatbed goes, and maybe 30 or 40% of the inbound loads do tarp coming back, but still for the money, that's not a bad deal.
Well, I could probably drive for Gale Ferrex Trucking, couldn't I?
Well, that would be one thing. If I could go back and do it over again, that's something that I would want to do is do some driving with a flatbed.
Well, I can do that, except I'd probably have you come with me and go ahead and drive while you're with me. But anyway, I could sit in the passenger seat with you. So
you've got all that fitness thing going on. You could handle those tarps, I'm sure.
There you go, Stevie.
I doubt it. I don't know about that. Tim, on stuff. All right, dedicated diesel, Gale Ferrex Trucking. Appreciate all your smoke information. Looking forward to March 27, which is only 28 days away.
Yeah.
So, boom.
Thanks, guys. I'm going to go to the gun store while Donna's generous.
That's smart. Thank you, Tim Onstadt. Gale Ferrex Trucking and Dedicated Diesel. The Smoke Show, ESPN 93.5, 842. Get another sports headlines one more time. Coming up.
Short-term market fluctuations can be unnerving for everyone. A proven way to tune out the noise and focus on long-term investment goals is to adhere to a well-constructed investment plan. This is Eric Boland with Provident Financial Group. If you don't have a plan in place, we can help create one designed specifically for you. Call us today for a complimentary consultation. Contact us at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
It seems like the cost of everything is on the rise, but Erie Insurance can help make sure your auto insurance premium isn't one of them. Avoid rate increases with Erie Rate Lock. Even if you have a claim, your rates won't go up until you change your car, driver, or address.
Your Erie agent in Champaign is Thomas & Ellers Insurance.
Erie Rate Lock is not available in all states. Other conditions and limitations at erieinsurance.com. Go to erieinsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products. And complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Are you one of those guys out there tinting windows day in and day out, all different shades of black, and ready to put a little color in your life? Come work for us. At Aftershock, we're looking for a guy with experience in wrapping, whether it be window tinting, vinyl wrapping, anything of that sort, or somebody with just ambition that wants to show up to work and be proud of what they do. You know those wraps with Troy Lands on the back waving at you? That's our work. Call us, 833-DECAL-IT, or email office@aftershockdd.com. We want you.
Stevie Jay here. With Nate Evans of eXp Realty, you'll always get a stress-free sale for the most money.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to theNateEvansGroup.com.
All righty, sports headlines. Big win for the Illini to keep it going.
The final was 105-97, and number 13, Illinois, was 18 of 22 when it comes to Marcus Domask making some shots. Terrence Shannon Jr. with 29.
18 of 22. Marcus did go 18-22 means he scored 40 or something, but he didn't score that many. But he was shooting well. So I'm not sure what that number is, but 18 for 22 is
You're
not
right.
Marcus would be too many points.
Well,
Marcus was
Shannon Jr. at 29.
So with 5 guys in double figures, including Dane Danger.
Yes.
Who was very important, got some tough rebounds, and I think he's going to see more action. Wisconsin's got a big, and I heard Purdue has a big. So we're going to get Dane in the game a little more, which is great.
Yes, that's right. So that game will be, what, March 5th is a Tuesday?
6 o'clock. Get there at 5:30 to see all the seniors because we got to say goodbye, and we need to give them a good send-off.
Mm-hmm. And next up, we'll be in Wisconsin at noon on Saturday.
Yep.
So take note of that. Our Illinois women and Michigan State at 7. Northwestern beat Maryland yesterday, 68-61. Nebraska's at Ohio State tonight at 5:30. Michigan State at Rutgers at 7:30. With the colder conditions. I think Pius had 2 fan buses
Oh,
yesterday.
man. That's unbelievable.
It was awesome.
That's what happens when you get the word out on
always
stuff.
Fun to visit with Cable, and I know that he said that we were loaded up last time I saw him, and walked out of the State Farm Center and said hello to the gang from Pius. We had women's basketball yesterday with number 6 Iowa 108, Minnesota at 60. Caitlin Clark beating a record with 3,650 points to take over Lynette Woodard's record from her 77 through 1981 record. And we had the Chicago Bulls beating Cleveland in double overtime. Boy, they must be tired today. Io adding 21 points. 132 to 123 was the final. Pacers over New Orleans, 123 to 114. So that's sports. I'm Diane Ducey. Rising costs of goods, unpredictable weather, and seasonal depression got you feeling down? Let Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing brighten your winter blues. Dogtown is offering $1,000 off any Bradford Whitewater heater, Rinnai tankless water heater, or Bosch mini split unit when you buy a Lennox home comfort system. No gimmicks, no hidden fees, just $1,000 in savings when you call Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, 217-841-4728. Offering 0% financing options for qualifying applicants. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend. Make a difference in your community and start a rewarding career when you join the Regional Planning Commission's Early Childhood Education Team. The RPC will be interviewing for open positions within the program during a hiring event Thursday, March 14th from 9 a.m. to noon at 104 Nightingale Court in Rantoul. Attendees are encouraged to bring their resumes and references. Don't miss this hiring event for Early Childhood Education, March 14th from 9 a.m. to noon at 104 Nightingale Court in Rantoul. Learn more at CCRPC.org.
Stevie Jay Broadcasting is looking for organizations that regularly distribute information regarding employment opportunities to job applicants or have job applicants to refer. If your organization would like to receive notification of job vacancies at our stations, please notify Human Relations at 101 East Washington in Philo, Illinois, 61864, or email hr@sjbroadcasting.com or by phone at 217-367-1195. SJ Broadcasting is an equal opportunity employer encouraging minorities and females to apply.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign-Urbana Saturday. Nice one ahead for this last day of February. Next weather system passing well to the south, but maybe south of Champaign County. Perhaps a few sprinkles and snowflakes tomorrow. Otherwise, next organized wet weather maker back in here for early next week with temperatures not quite as warm, but still well above average for the beginning part of March. Sunshine, more seasonal temperatures on this leap year day. Afternoon temperatures to about 45. Then of a southwest to south breeze, increasing cloudiness tonight. Lows near 30 tomorrow. Maybe a couple snowflakes and sprinkles south of Champaign County. A sprinkle as well in the afternoon, becoming partly sunny tonight at about 46 degrees. Light south wind. Clouds break tomorrow night. Lows down to 36. And a breezy and milder, mostly sunny Saturday, getting close to 60. Up to about 69 to 70. A windy and seasonally mild Sunday. And some rain in the forecast for Monday, Tuesday, perhaps into Wednesday next week. High temperatures into the upper 60s on Monday, 50s Tuesday and Wednesday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Well, we have Lindsay Quick from Campus Inc. How are you, Lindsay?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, fine. Good talking to you. You got something going on with Eastern Illinois Food Bank, right?
I sure do, yes. It is the prom benefit to raise money for those that need food in our community.
Do we have a need in our community, Lindsay? Have you been learning more about this?
Absolutely. I've actually been volunteering at the food bank for several years, and there's always a need. And obviously, when things like COVID happened, there was more of a need, but still, even this year, there's always a need for food and getting food dispersed. I mean, they serve 18 counties throughout the state, so they have a wide reach, and there's always people that are going to need food depending on kind of their situation and what they got going on.
I just want to jump in real quick. I know they have a new mobile food pantry that's been taking laps inside the last few months. It's the first Tuesday of the month here for Southern Champaign County. Feed the Need at 9 a.m. in St. Joe. Ogden has their old ballpark at 10 a.m. Homer at 11 a.m. Sydney's Community Building 12:30. Philo, the village office at 1:30 on Tuesday, and the Oaks out in Tolono at 2:30. I think it's great that they've got a mobile food pantry and actually going to the rural communities and handing out food as needed. Thank you for supporting this.
Of course.
So as far as the prom, let's talk about the event Saturday the 2nd at the I Hotel.
Yes, I believe it's already sold out, which is great. We're going to have a wonderful turnout, but people can still donate and support candidates that way. And, $1 goes and feeds 3 different meals. So even a little bit, every bit counts, certainly. So I'm sure my other candidates would help appreciate any support that people can give.
How many people are on the panel to try to go for King and Queen?
Yeah, I believe there's 8 or 9 of us, maybe, something like that.
Awesome.
You said 8 or 9 of us. Are you one?
I am one of those 8 or 9,
well,
yes.
Why not vote for Lindsay Quick?
Well, that's what we're saying. That's why we have her on.
It's a slam dunk. Forget everybody get out. It's Lindsay. Right? Come on,
Absolutely.
man.
You're right.
Were you surprised when you got working with Little Eastern Illinois Food Bank? Were you surprised at the need?
Absolutely. I think a lot of us take food for granted. I think that it's just part of our everyday life, and we don't think about not having it. So I think it really is eye-opening to kind of see the need and see how far the reach goes and how much people really do depend on something like this every day. It is a very eye-opening experience for sure.
Well, thanks for what you're doing. Again, prom is coming up Saturday. It's amazing.
And we can vote for you how?
Yeah, votes are counted by dollars, so whoever has the most money wins, and you can vote or donate at eifoodbank.org.
Awesome. Well, all the best in getting the crown.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
Rooting for you. Thank you, Lindsay Quick. Okay, ESPN 93.3. If you're in a Kiss a Pig or prom, you want to win.
I've done that before, the Kiss a Pig thing.
I kissed the pig on the top of the head. I thought it was just nicer.
Right.
Still too wet.
So, in any case, eifoodbank.org.
All right, we've got the boys this afternoon.
And Luke Goody?
Luke Goody is scheduled for 3:05.
Okay.
Asterisk, subject change. Luke didn't play much.
Right.
Got in for just a few minutes. Got a 3, though. Made a 3 ball.
Okay.
Marcus Damasco's 8 out of 12 instead of 18 out of 22. That's close.
Okay.
8 and 12. And then the whole team shot great. We shot great. They shot great. That's why it was 105 to 97. Minnesota shot 60% from the field. They shot 70% from 3-point, 14 out of 20.
Wow.
Illinois shot 61% from the field and 45 from the 3.
Wow.
The ball was going in, thus the 202 points total, highest total for a Big Ten game in 15 years. So, good news. Illinois wins. Off to Wisconsin. Bird leaves tomorrow morning. Wheels up sometime in the afternoon. They go to Madison. Noon game. Again, going to be the last 3, I think, are pretty hard on the road with at Wisconsin, at Iowa, and then in between, of course, Purdue on Tuesday night. Purdue Tuesday night is going to be just bring your best officials because they're going to go into Zach Edey, and he's really hard to stop. And they've got Purdue's obviously they may be the overall number 1 in the Big Ten tournament, in the NCAA tournament. They're terrific, and I think we are too. And we got them at home, so. Let's go. Tuesday night's going to be fun. But let's get to Wisconsin. Let's go to the road. And let's,
yes.
Wisconsin is really, really good, too, particularly at home. But I think we're better. I think we're better than everybody. Purdue is the only other team I think is like, pretty good. But without Zach Edey, I'm sorry, if Zach has to take a break, it's just kind of an average team to me. I think they're nothing. I think we have more balance and more.
How tall is Zach?
He's only 7'5".
Oh, wow.
Maybe 7'4".
Oh, my goodness.
Depends on the shoes he's wearing. Hey, Diane, have a great.
Enjoy the day.
That's Diane Ducey. I'm Stevie Jay. Thanks for listening. Have a great Thursday.
Tapman's Towing reminds all Illini fans, when you're on the road and see lights flashing, move over and use caution passing. Let's all get home safe tonight.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
This is Eric Boland with Provident Financial Group. Unfortunately, there is no one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is we can help improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA, SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
BMW, Buick, GMC, Honda, and Subaru. Welcome to Sarah Champagne. We can handle all your car repairs on-site, including paintless dent repair, bumpers, windshields, everything in between. We have an amazing selection of new or pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Shop from home and buy online or reserve your vehicle before it hits our website or dealership. Sarah Champagne is home of the Sarah One Price Promise, delivering an honest and transparent buying experience. Hurry in or shop online at sarahchampagne.com.
Cyber Golden Gable deals are here at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 45% off and save an extra $100 on every $800 you spend on select major appliances. And there's more. Get the DeWalt 20-volt Max Drill Kit for $99. Was $159. Hurry, these savings won't last because Lowe's knows deals. Valid through 11/29 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for details.
So when was the last time you saw a best deal guarantee?
You mean a promise that actually held up?
Right.
That some unknown online entity didn't want you to log in and download a code and then re-verify as you join some club.
Drives you nuts, I know.
And then once you purchase that set of steak knives...
Well, Dick Van Dyke Appliance World is a lot simpler. You find a verified great deal and they beat it. Just show them the deal you saw. A newspaper clipping or the online cart price will do, and then you're good.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, it's one of those instances where you see a best deal guarantee and...
you get the best deal.
This is Dennis Rieken, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Our exclusive 10-year protection plan comes free with most appliance purchases. Whether it's a GE, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, Bosch, or any of our 30 brands, I guarantee we will beat any competitor's deal. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Tapman's Towing, team of experienced tow professionals, is seeking others with CDLs, previous tow experience, and or strong interest in serving others. Please visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
Think you have to settle for mediocre car insurance to save money? Think again. It's possible to get superior